In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to do a speed conversion, and we're going to use unit fractions to convert those ratios. Here's an example. A car travels 55 miles per hour. What is its speed in feet per second? Okay. We'd like to be able to do that calculation. Well, first of all, a key idea, of course, is what is a unit fraction, and it's any fraction that's equal to 1. And these are a little bit different than just numerical fractions. Here are 3 examples. We have 1 foot divided by 12 inches, the fraction 1 foot over 12 inches. Since 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, this really is equal to 1. It's a unit fraction. Any fraction that's equal to 1 is a unit fraction. Same thing with the next one. I just flipped the numerators and denominators. 12 inches and 1 foot are the same thing. And this is also equal to 1. And of course, the last example here involves time. Okay, the first 2 involve lengths. We know that 1 hour is really equal to 60 minutes, so therefore we can say that this is also equal to 1. That's why they're called units. 1 is a unit fraction. 55 miles per hour can be written as this fraction right here. 55 miles divided by 1 hour. That means we go 55 miles for or per every 1 hour. So the fraction line really translates into the word per, or vice versa. It's called a rate because it's a unit of time unit of distance on top divided by a unit of time on the bottom. Okay, so we want to be able to change from 55 miles into so many feet, and of course we want to be able to change 1 hour into so many seconds. Okay. So there are 2 different conversions that we have to do. We have to convert from miles to feet, and also from hours to seconds. Okay. If you're really hip mathematically, you know that you can recall that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So to find out how many feet are in 55 miles, you multiply 55 times 5,280. Okay. And also, if you want to find out how many seconds there are in 1 hour, we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay. And then for each minute is 60 seconds. So 60 times 60 would be 3,600 seconds. Okay. Then I would take those 2 numbers, those 2 numerical answers that you got for the numerator and the denominator, and divide. And then we're done. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to show you this drawn out a little. It's going to be a little bit more defined and drawn out so you can see what's going on. The first one, number 1 here, this conversion, is 55 miles per 1 hour times the unit fraction, 5,280 feet per 1 mile. The reason I put the unit fraction with the feet on top and the miles on the bottom is that I want to be able to cancel this unit. I want to be able to cancel the miles unit. Okay? And that's exactly what happens. So when I cancel the units here, and the miles have been canceled out, and what's left on top, feet, and what's left on the bottom, the unit is hour per 1 hour. So now I've got 200, and I multiply 55 times 5,280, and I get 290,400 feet for every 1 hour. Okay. Now what's left? I have to convert the 1 hour to seconds. Okay. And what should that give? That should give us finally feet on the top and seconds on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ratio, okay, and I'm going to convert 1 hour into seconds. And like I said before, if you know how many seconds are in 1 hour, use that ratio. So I have 290,400 feet for every 1 hour times the ratio, the unit fraction, 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. Okay, that's my unit fraction. Okay, now you cancel the units. Okay, we have the hours canceled. What's left? We have 290,400, and the units are feet. Okay, and on the bottom we have 3,600 seconds. Okay, So now I just take 290,400 divided by 3,600, and I wind up with 80.66. The unit on the top is feet, the unit on the bottom is seconds, so that would be 80.66 feet per second. That's if you know that there's 3,600 seconds, okay, in 1 hour. Another way to proceed, if you don't know the 3,600 figure that we used before, or you just shied away from that, we do know that if we convert hour into minutes and then convert minutes into seconds, then I will have the seconds as the unit that I want. So the first one over here converts an hour into minutes. So what I do is I use the unit fraction 1 hour per every 60 minutes that most people know. Okay, the hours cancel, and I wind up with 290,400 feet on top divided by 60 minutes on the bottom. And if I divide that, I wind up with 4,840 feet per every minute. So now I've got feet per minute, and the only thing I have to do now is convert from feet per minute into feet per second. So I've got to convert minutes to seconds. Okay, so I take my 4,840 feet per minute times, for every 1 minute I have 60 seconds. Notice that the minutes cancel, and I'm left with seconds on the bottom, feet on the top. I wind up at 4,840 divided by 60, which turns out to be 80.66 feet per 1 second. Okay, it's a little bit more drawn out. I just wanted to go through. Sometimes it's good to see the steps that are necessary and how the unit fractions work and how the units cancel and how you can chain together some of these. Okay, now finally, let's try to consolidate what we did and put it into one string of calculations instead of doing the intermediate steps and figure out answers as we go. Remember, we started with 55 miles per hour, and we converted miles to feet by multiplying by 5280 feet per 1 mile. So then we were left with, when we canceled that, we were left with feet on top and hours on the bottom. Then what I could do in order to get rid of the hours and make that into seconds, I multiplied by 1 hour per every 60 minutes, which converted the hours to minutes. And then, okay, when I do that, the hours cancel. Okay, and then now I have minutes that are left, and now I convert minutes to seconds by multiplying that by 1 minute per every 60 seconds. So now the minutes cancel. Okay, so this is writing it out in one string of calculations. Okay, notice that the only unit that's left is the one that I want, which is feet in the numerator in the top, and the unit that I want in the bottom is seconds. Okay, now the numbers that are left are 55 times 5280 in the top, and 60 times 60 on the bottom. Okay, if you use a calculator, be very careful. Okay, what I would definitely do is, since fractions cause a problem in calculations, just remember if you put a parentheses around the numbers in the numerator, okay, and do the same thing in the numbers in the denominator. So I would enter parentheses 55 times 5280, right parentheses to close that. Then I would hit the division sign, and then I would again do a parentheses 60 times 60, close parentheses, and then hit the equal sign. Okay? If you don't do that, okay, if you don't include that parentheses around the 60s, you will not get the correct denominator. You will not be dividing by the correct denominator, and the answer will be wrong. So there we go. Once again, 80.66 frames per second. And that's how you do conversions, speed conversions. And this technique can be used for really any conversion where you have known unit fractions and you want to do a conversion.